Take a moment to reflect on what comes next. Hey there, how's it going, you guys? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. So, wow, some crazy markets, right? Bitcoin getting up to $40,000, sliding back, getting back up to $40,000 again, sliding down a little bit again, coming in at 37,000 today. Crazy people out there, right? Pumping FUDs, speculating nonsense. Bitcoin's finding new ranges. Bitcoin's finding more adoption. The bigger things that I've been hearing lately that have me interest is that people are talking about Bitcoin having more stability to it, right? The bull market's lasting longer, but the top's not being as high. The price of Bitcoin may be topping out only at 70,000, 100,000, possibly. Bitcoin's a unique beast, right? We hear Adam Meister talk about being a unique beast all the time. The future of Bitcoin is uncertain, right? That's why everyone talks about never investing more than what you're willing to lose. But then at the same time, if you're a smart individual, you can look at Bitcoin, you can look at what's happening and the evolution of this over the last 10 years and say, this is the future reserve currency. Not taking a stake in it is stupid, right? How could you make that mistake? If you were smart enough to see this, how could you not be getting your hands on Bitcoin? But then you got the everyday struggle, right? We're all people. We have bills, we have lives. Money is only a tool that keeps us in a lifestyle. So the water's muddied. Do I sell Bitcoin? Do I get more of this fiat cash? Can I pay my bills? Is now a good time? Let me try to leverage trade. Oh no, there's another 10% drop. I'm liquidated. Now I have less of this fiat that I'm supposed to have. Strong hands stick around, right? We've talked about the bear market. It was a long, lengthy, grueling period of time. Development occurred, right? Bitcoin network got stronger. We looked at some of the highest hash rates that we've ever seen. We see ransomware is growing more prevalent in the private sector, right? Government, schools, hospitals. The future is digital. I still continue to try to tell everyone I know about Bitcoin. It's walking a fine line now between being too much and just letting them know that there is something. I just randomly send texts, right? Our friend Kristen. Instead of bombarding people, right? I got her onto Coinbase. Coinbase sucks, but Coinbase is great for brand new people, just like Gemini, just like Cash App. And you randomly message them when the price is up. That's how people get hooked. Education into Bitcoin is a personal journey. Everyone views it differently, just like the story they tell themselves. Well, we have patiently waiting on the sidelines over here my lovely co-host, Sammy.
That might have been the longest. 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
Well, you got to give people time to get into the chat.
There are people here. So
well,
maybe
that's great.
Yes, maybe you're okay.
Well,
maybe.
I don't know if I want to do that thing where you cut the video and you cut the mic and you let it run for 30 minutes, because when I go to a video and they have me impatiently waiting at the blank camera screen, it's like, this sucks. I'll come back when the video's over and watch it at 2x. But you guys, I tell you all the time, you guys are what make this show. If you guys weren't here in the chat, I don't know if I'd get out here and do it. In comparison to the pre-recorded videos that I used to do, that felt a little bit like work. This doesn't feel like work. This just feels like I'm hanging out. So, of course, me and Samantha are taking the morning off. Quite chilly out here, coming in at 43 degrees icing. But I want to hear how you guys are doing. How are you guys faring? We talked about the Bitcoin price being at 37,000. I'm quite happy with it.
All right, so we got Satoshi James. We got UK Bitcoin Master Brian. Hi.
Nice, Brian. I'm glad that you can make it.
He says, "My lord, you're alive at a sensible time for me." I know, right? Paul Rouleau is here.
Back
Hi,
in the
Paul.
day, this used to be our time
Yes,
slot.
it was morning, like morning coffee.
But, you know, we all had to get those 9 to 5s during the bear market.
No, in the very beginning, it was like 4 in the morning.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's true, too.
Yeah, before we went to work. Like,
when we were given that 110%.
Dude, that was intense. It was.
Paul Rouleau, my man, I appreciate you coming by again, my friend.
BTC Moon guy. Oh,
BTC Moon guy.
Moon pies. I personally like Moon pies.
And RC Cola.
And Bitcoin Jake. Hi.
Bitcoin Jake. Nice, buddy.
See, look, apparently morning works for some.
Well, I'm glad that you guys stopped by. Of course, I'm just trying to keep the conversation going. I do have a few things written down here as usual, as some jumping off points. We see Mt. Gox, right? Struck a deal, Coin Lab, looking at some distribution of Bitcoin, has people panicked a little bit.
Yeah, okay, so they had a contract way back in the day of like Mt. Gox Day, and then they had a falling out. But now, like they're saying that they will help. Okay, because yes, like
I don't know. I mean, you guys know I like to be honest. To be honest, this just sounds like more of how they keep using that Mt. Gox FUD, and it's always some sort of bureaucratical red tape and legal mumbo jumbo about how there's going to be release of Bitcoin, like and it spooks the market, and it never really seems to happen. So, because of course there is no date with this one as well. So yeah, I mean, maybe somebody struck some sort of illegal deal. Yes, there's supposed to be something about 90% distribution of Bitcoin. Yes, these people may get paid back. Yes, they may want to dump it on the market. But we have liquidity crunches. We're talking about long-term investments. I mean, it would hurt traders. Right? And that's usually where it comes down to. Well, I like to talk about how traders are a small percentage of us. And it gets annoying and very old, especially when you've been here as long as we have, that you constantly have to listen to these gamblers, right? Because to me, it means that I enjoy when people make money. I understand that there's a few people that are profitable, but like they say, 90% of the people that come in invest more than they're willing to can lose, and then lose it with high-end leverage.
No, trading. I mean, yes. Like we all had that family member or whatever. You have 2 or 3 brothers that, I mean, God help me, are the luckiest nobodies in the world, like for real. So I don't find money on the ground. I don't find winning lotto tickets. I don't get a car given to me. You know, those kinds where it's like, wow, some people can make good choices and are lucky. That is a very small percentage. Like, no, how many traders have we known? You know what I mean? Like, personally, I mean, 3.
Well, it'd be nice if there was a dump, right? Because we're looking at 37,000, and I'm sure that a lot of people are around saying, man, we have the opportunity to buy Bitcoin at 10K forever.
13
in the life of Bitcoin.
Yep.
And they didn't.
No, it was going to go down, man. It was going to get even cheaper.
Silly games. I mean, let's get a plan. Let's get it together, people, right? Start dollar cost averaging. Start realizing that you need to start storing Bitcoin for a date in the future that is undetermined at this point in time, because we don't know when the world will wake up, right? I think we've seen the statistics that 0.5% of the world is in Bitcoin versus... That was the one with the internet.
Oh, yeah, I like
where
it.
Where like the internet in 1996 was like 0.5% of the world, and now it's 60%. What happens to Bitcoin when it goes from 0.5, which is what it is now in 2021, to 60%, which is...
We actually thought that was like, because after we were like, wait, there's only 60% of the entire world that has the internet? Like, I would have been thinking it was definitely pushing like 80-ish. I mean, it was just a little more than half. Like, I don't know. It feels like everybody has the internet, but I guess not.
It feels like
yeah.
That is the most American white thing I think I've ever heard you say, Samantha.
I'm carrying it up right now. It feels like everyone has it, but you don't? Are you sure?
What do we got going on in the chat over there? What are you guys thinking about this Mt. Gox? Are you worried? Are you out there trading, thinking that you're going to get liquidated?
All right, so we are at Powerless says, feel free to dump it, and I will happily buy it on sale.
Yeah.
All right. UK Bitcoin Master Bride says, I am not letting a single Satoshi leave my Trezor.
I've noticed that recently as well.
We were talking about that, yes.
Yeah, we were talking about this last evening that during 2017, people were sending Bitcoin all over the place. All you had to do was like throw up addresses and stuff and, you know, tally funds and things like that. And everyone was out there rolling in
remember
Bitcoin.
Thomas's typewriter? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think people have gotten to the understanding that this stuff needs to be hoarded.
I mean, it really does. Like, no, I mean, what was
I've spent a lot of Bitcoin, you know, in the 4 years that I've been here on and off. And in retrospect, it's like, never should have done that. Okay, move forward.
Satoshi James says, FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. I mean, okay, it does feel different. I do think, I mean, it's going to go up and down. Anybody who thinks that we're just going to go straight to the moon, I mean, really?
Well, I mean, now that we've touched 40,000, it's going to be that once Bitcoin makes an all-time high, we always go back to it. So right now, anything under $40,000 is a pretty good buy, right? We seem to be sticking between what, 32,000 and 40. All right, so we're setting new ranges. Bitcoin used to go up and down by a couple $100s in a day, and that was a big deal. Now we go up and down by 1,000, a couple thousand in a day. Well, that's awesome too. Imagine when we get on the other side of 100K and we're going up and down, you know, tens of thousands.
Brian would like us to go to one of the monthly Zoom 21 million club meetups. We might
he sent one of those the other day.
We have started to Zoom-ish. Like, it's not one of the platforms we're very comfortable with, but we have Zoom.
It's more about the problem of having free time, man. I mean, with the daylight hours are short here in Florida right now, so we have to get going once the sun comes up and it's dark by 4:30 and we can't work our business anymore. And then it's usually about an hour drive home and dinner and all of that. So I don't know. We've been trying to figure out how we make a push and do more in our life. It just seems like here in Florida with the cold and everything, we do bad in the winter. We get little done. And once it gets warmer, which is right around the corner, hopefully we'll be able to have more daylight and get more out of ourselves.
We were also talking about that we feel like we need to kind of push ourselves a little more. But
I don't know. I started eating, what was that superfood, the superfood powder stuff that I've been eating for a week.
Yes. Oh, the Kachiva stuff.
Yeah, Kachiva.
I have no idea. That's how I would pronounce it. Okay. It is. Yeah.
They got me with the commercials.
He says there's only about 12 members. So, okay.
All right.
I mean, that's not scary. Like, that's not scary, at least.
I didn't think it was scary.
I'm always, okay, technology is, I don't even understand. I don't know how I like Bitcoin when technology is not my friend. As Eugene says, I don't even have home saved in the GPS, okay? Like, nope. Type that in every time. Why not? Why not? BDC Moon Guy says, recycled FUD. Hodlers unaffected.
Yeah. I mean, it is a matter of, you know, continuing to jump in the market like you were before. You know, it really sucks that we're getting lost Satoshis, but hey, it means we're making progress, right? Let's see, what do I got here for the next thing? Oh, they're talking about Bitcoin was used to fund some of those right-wing extremists.
They think maybe possibly,
Yeah, like $500,000 in Bitcoin.
The rioter terrorists. Mm-hmm.
Same stuff, right? I mean,
I'm just saying.
It's about pointing out. See, I don't know. It's good news and it's bad news, right? Everybody sees it as bad news, and it's always because of the perspective, right? That stuff is bad when you are for the thing, right? But the point is that Bitcoin is being utilized in a fashion that's censorship resistant, right? And this is the key that we are always talking about, because the fear is, when are they going to censor you, right? When are they going to censor me? When are they going to censor my mom, my dad, my brothers, my family, my people I care about, right?
Yeah.
Because all they do is have to shut off account, shut off the apps.
And you get stuck not
Currently,
able to move
we're
something.
seeing this with, the Trump stuff and the social media, right?
Yeah.
They just shut it off, right? That's what happens when the centralized systems don't like you.
I mean, and they're using that it's also freedom of speech, and that they, are privately owned and they're allowed to do whatever they want, and
You can say whatever you want.
Yep.
If they don't like what you're doing, then they shut you down. That's always how it's been through history. They'll let you do what you want to do up until a point. Once you become too big of a problem, they shut you down. This is why we keep talking about there's an uphill battle with Bitcoin, because they have never tried to shut us down. But it does seem like they're trying to join now.
That's true too.
But regulation is one of the new topics, and saying about how hopefully it's going to fizzle out with Steve Mnuchin leaving office and Janet Yellen coming in. But then everyone's worried because they held up that, buy Bitcoin sign behind Janet Yellen's head. And, does she have a bad taste, or has she gotten a bad taste for Bitcoin since then, going to come in and continue with the regulation? Who cares? Right. I mean, the point is that I've already taken monetary sovereignty for my Bitcoin. It is going to get harder. That's why we talk about the revolution. It's not going to be the same every single day in the revolution, of course, before you have major wins.
Everything's going to have KYC. Like everything is going to, everything's going to be sending you some IRS at the end of the year crap. For real. Everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's
their goal.
With them printing all of this money and everything, I mean, at some point, they're going to have to stop printing. And they're going to have to rely on taxation in order to continue funding this stuff.
Hey, man, we've been floating you for a while. It's time for you to give back.
I mean, there's a guy from Rich Dad Poor Dad. What they're talking about? What $1 trillion is $1 a second for the next 300,000 years.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like 3,300 and something. Yes, $1 a second.
I mean, and we printed 5 more. I mean, we're going for more now.
Of course we're going. Yeah, they're going for more.
So, I mean.
Yes, they are going. Yes, sir. Yes.
I mean, it is just a matter of, what was it? It was Omar the other day talking about, I mean, you just got to take this stuff and put it into crypto. And when they're handing out free checks, if you don't absolutely have to use it on your bills, you will later on. Oh, man, that was good. That was good.
Yes, the dollar cost average real well that day. I mean, for real.
Don't worry about all the prices up at this moment. I'll get it next week when it dips down. Forget that. When you're looking at 100K, it's not going to make a difference if you bought at 36 or 42.
Yeah, humans are so we are such a conundrum, because we are so impulsive by nature, and yet we are also so oh God, I'm forgetting the word. Where you're lazy, where you procrastinate. There we go. Procrastination. Yes. So it's how are you impulsive and you're all oh yeah, no, I'll do that tomorrow. Oh, later. It'll go down later.
Well, I mean, it's a matter of the best thing for you is to do the stuff you don't want to do.
And that was also the Rich Dad Poor Dad. He said, I trained myself to do the things I hate. Yeah, whatever that is. True. You do it, man.
Where I heard that.
We like the Rich Dad Poor Dad, man.
I don't know. There's been a bunch of videos by him lately because he's talking about, the end of this economic demise and, getting your family ready or whatever. But his videos have been popping up on my feed, and I just let that stuff roll.
Yeah. And then once you look at them, they pop up on your feed more.
Yeah.
That's how that goes.
Feed the beast.
All right. Satoshi James says, in 3 years, I have not spent a single Satoshi. Yeah. Yeah.
Good job, my man.
Paul Rillo says, blockchain is the answer to the cancel culture. It's just, yes, it does feel different. This does feel different. We're making jokes at our, in our own lives about how it does feel everybody is clutching to every Satoshi. There is no reason to give this shit up. If you are willy-nilly buying crap and leveraging things, you're stupid. There is a problem. What are you looking for? What's your end goal? Because it's
just that you have a different perspective on Bitcoin at this time, and you're just going to have to learn a lesson like the rest of us did. And, the hard way sucks.
I mean, it is. Yes. I don't know.
This is early days, even though we are still looking at a close to $40,000 Bitcoin. These are early days because the power of decentralization is magnitudes better than and bigger than anything people are recognizing. These companies are seeing it as they're reevaluating the world around them, right? And saying the dollar is not something I really want to be holding. That's garbage. They're making it garbage.
I mean, I guess everybody, has to learn their lesson, and it is because we didn't trade, but I mean, oh my God, we ran that shift card like no tomorrow. So I mean, I don't know. It is, I guess it is, but so far the smartest thing to do and the only answer we've came up with is to hold it and buy more.
Yeah.
Piggy bank.
Anything over there in the chat, or should I just keep rolling along with these topics to see what you guys are
Barlow
feeling?
says the time to buy Bitcoin is whenever you can.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
Let's see. The next one I got here is the British guy, right? He was mining back in the early days of 2013. Mined 7.5 thousand Bitcoin, apparently gave up on the project, threw the hard drive away. It's in a landfill. It's worth like $273 million right now. And he's offering up, I heard conflicting reports between 70 and $90 million, you know, if to dig it up. So,
okay.
Needle in the haystack right there. But hey, I mean, when we're talking about what's going to be the most precious commodity in the world.
Now, is he doing this? I mean, is it for the mass amount of people who will be digging in this landfill? Or, I mean, why don't, if you want something done, do it yourself? Like, why are you paying somebody?
I think it's for the rights to be able to get into the landfill.
Oh, like wants to like,
yeah.
I gotcha. Let me scavenger hunt in there, please. Thank you.
I mean, I don't know. A long time ago when I was leaning more towards green stuff, I mean, landfills are horrible things with the way that they cap them and bottom coat them before they go and put stuff in. Nothing actually deteriorates inside them. You know, they've dug into landfills and pulled out newspapers that were 50 years old and you could still read the ink off of them. So yeah, it's there. It's probably fine.
Yeah, no, like they got a nice shell of non-biodegradableness.
Yeah, it's a needle. It's a needle in a haystack situation. But like we're saying, 21 million, right? And we're talking about 7.5 thousand of them. That's a lot.
That is it is a lot.
You know, I mean, there are a lot of Bitcoin that people are talking about are lost. They're going to be found. People are going to start trying to find them if at all possible, right? There's another one that I briefly read the headline on about some guy who's about to get locked out of some Bitcoin or something. You know, that's going to be more of the news is these random obscure Bitcoin that like are out there, like scavenger hunter ability, because it is going to be so much money.
Yeah.
People aren't out looking for lost ships, right? That have crashed and are 100 years old for no reason.
Yep.
Just like people are going to go out looking for these lost Bitcoin.
Because I mean, in reality, there is a good chance. I mean, if a laptop, a cell phone, and blah blah, it might be savable. You know, it might be.
I mean, I know from some of my AA stuff and getting the computer stuff at school that, I mean, you have to really write over a drive
a lot
40, 50, 100 times before it gets to be unsalvageable, where you can't go back. We're gonna drill a hole in it. I mean, that's always the other one. You drill a hole in it, and that kind of puts a damper on the whole thing.
Right through that motherboard component. Oops, sorry. Okay, so Barlow says he still hits the faucets every chance he gets, grabs every Satoshi while you can. We have the one that's like it. Okay, it's like five. It's like five Satoshis.
Yeah, I don't put up the link anymore because of YouTube, but I used to have a faucet, and it has been the same faucet that I have used for 4 years now.
Yep.
I mean, unfortunately, I have clicked that multi-bet game.
Yeah, because it is also a gambling one. Oh, funny. Yeah.
And then I used to let my brother play it, but I have pulled $60, $20 out of a faucet over the 4 years.
Move. Yep, it has. We've had winnings of Faucetness.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to hook up for a faucet that actually does work and does withdraw, I mean, I have hit the button because it pops up every time I open up my browser. I click the thing to collect the 5 Satoshis and then I close it away. So, and I've done that for 4 years. It does add up. It does feel dumb first.
It is a roll like of the dice game, I guess, because you can get
I've never gotten more than the second tier.
But it's like 50 or 60 Satoshis or 100. So I mean, it's more.
yeah, that's true too.
I'm just saying.
Anything over there in the chat, Samantha? You guys got any questions, comment, things you want to talk about this morning? I do have a little bit more here. Other than that, move it on this morning. We got other things. You want to go pick up some topsoil this morning?
I do.
Got to get
maybe
ready
a
for
tree.
planting for
Oh, but
February.
I don't know. It's supposed to be kind of cold for the next couple of days. So it's
Yeah.
like, can we plant a tree now?
Well, I was saying that we should just get a bunch of bags of topsoil and everything, start getting it ready. I don't like to plant till Valentine's Day.
Okay. Whatever. Oh, I got a cool plant for Valentine's Day, before Valentine's Day. Staghorn Fern. It is the coolest thing ever. He is 11 years old and his name is Stanley.
Yeah, I'll have to bring him out on air. He's big. He's like 3 foot across.
He's a little droopy on one side, and we don't know what because we're new to it, and the man obviously was selling him, so he might have been slightly neglected, but we're gonna figure out how to make him like super pretty, but they're pretty, and he's big.
All right. Did anyone comment in the chat?
No, we're good.
All right, you guys. The last little bit of guys that Coinbase is going to have more coins, right? They got this asset hub thing, and they're going to give you some criteria, and you're going to be able to put it up, and they're going to, decline you or approve you. And I mean, right now they're already trading 40 coins. They're holding 90 coins. I just see them falling down the same road as Binance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you get to be a cryptocurrency business, I mean, they did great. Coinbase was awesome in their day. But they want to continue to generate more and more and more revenue, right? At a certain point, they've crossed the line into greedy.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So now that they've crossed over there, I just see them road mapping the same as Binance. I mean, soon we're going to have Coinbase coin.
Oh, yeah. You don't think we... yes. Yes, I'm sure they have CB USD.
No, they'd probably be a stable coin.
Yeah, CBUSD. Yes. Just
saying. You heard it here first. Coinbase USD.
You want to have a T in there too? Like all of them.
USDT.
Yes.
CBUSD.
There you go. It's all of them. Ta-da.
The big acronym.
Yep. They can even have an ETF somewhere for it. Like all of it. Who cares? Yes, Coinbase. Coinbase is the man, okay? If you don't think Coinbase is the man, then yet again. I mean, I do still have a Coinbase account. We do not use it. I do get the earn things when it says, would you like to know about a Mise Go for 5 minutes, and you get your, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's why I turned our friend Kristen onto it, is that I sent her $5 or something, and then from there I did all the little test things with her, and she did some on her own. Yeah, and that's how she got all of the crypto. Like, she didn't really invest any money, but she's getting the opportunity to get an education out of it, which is the best, right? Because if you get Bitcoin and you don't understand it, that's when you get suckered into these scams. You're like, oh man, I just paid $5, $10. I got this. They want me to send it here. They're going to triple it. Oh, invest in this. And they're going to give me daily paybacks.
Do it over here. Okay. And then what is it? No. Yeah.
Oh, they got cloud mining. And if I pay this, they'll give me this much on a daily basis, and next thing you know, you're parted from your Bitcoin. And that's what everyone has learned. And that's why nobody wants to send any Bitcoin or cryptocurrency anywhere, is that it's a one-way transaction. If you send it out, that's probably the first mistake that you made.
I think that Coinbase is good for onboarding. Because it is simple, because it does explain, I mean, via their earns and their little paragraphs and all of their stuff, it helps ever facilitate. But then, I mean, if you're really thinking, you're never going to get your coins off of it when it's high. You're never going to get your Bitcoin off. They are not there to actually help you
when the market's moving.
Yeah. At all. But it is a very easiest way that I have found to show somebody that is brand new, because they do baby step you in there so much.
Yeah, the Volt is nice and things like that. I mean, I like Cash App, but the problem is that, I mean, someone hacks your Cash App, they can drain your account into Bitcoin and send it out, and it won't even, like, there's no 2FA authentication or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
that one's a little shady. It's all like, whoa, wait, huh? Ooh. Yeah. All right. Paul Lewis says that he still uses Coinbase occasionally, in my opinion. But my options are limited here. Yeah, because you're in New York. Yeah. And UK says, yes, Coinbase sucks, but it is his best option here too. They got you. They got you both. I know.
That's the problem, is that they are the biggest entity out there, and they're willing to conform to all of the regulation, and they have the financial funding to be able to get the licenses in these places that require them. So
Yes, it is like the Walmart, the man of, yes, it sucks. It sucks because I
First
just hope
mover,
everybody isn't on it forever. I hope that is just an onboarding. Then they realize, oh my God, and get off. Because otherwise, who? It will be like Walmart. There will be Coinbases everywhere.
well, I mean, once Coinbase shuts down withdrawals, then I mean, you'll be looking at it as the same as some of these other platforms, and I would see a larger migration to platforms that do allow you to withdraw, because everybody that starts to get a cryptocurrency education and isn't in it for a short-term trading basis, which would get wrecked and lose them money, like lose their money anyways, ends up coming to the ideal that they have to take custodianship of their own, especially when we start seeing the things like the forks.
I know. Do you have more news?
No, that's it.
Oh, what about the Andrew Yang? What? So it's Komomo.
This has nothing to do with Bitcoin, but Samantha loves these little tidbits.
First off, love Komomo. He is the biggest douchebag ever. I love him. I love him. I don't even know how to pronounce his name anymore. It is just Komomo. Our son even says Komomo. Okay, so apparently Andrew Yang will be running for New York. So Paul Rouleau, what's up? And he wants to do universal income. And he also likes Bitcoin. So that's kind of funny. But only in the state of New York.
I mean, if they're going to give out universal basic income in New York City or whatever, I'm going to have to go register as a homeless person and get a P.O. box or something and get a like one of those prepaid debit cards and get them start direct depositing, because I will take some free money.
I mean, you have enough relatives in the state of New York. You can't just say, yeah, man, like I'm 3 hours from my auntie, you know, whatever. I'm just saying. All right. Oh, Paul Rouleau says this was like the old times. No better way to start the day.
Awesome. I'm glad. Actually, we have the same spot and everything. We moved a little away from the tree.
Yeah, we did. I don't know. He's getting pretty big for a magnolia tree.
I don't know. All the vehicles are parked over there, and we didn't want to put them in the camera view. So
you don't need to see the GMC work van. All right.
All right, you guys. I really do appreciate you guys coming out here and hanging out with us this morning. As always, there's like the stuff down below, the other social media where you can follow us if you're not getting those notifications on YouTube. But that's kind of slowed up a bit for us. From what I've been hearing, YouTube's been pushing our notifications.
Yeah, we've been jingling, I think, pretty close to on time.
There's also the email address if you want to write me, ask me any questions, stuff like that. And there's also that donational address if you want to help us out around here, continue to keep the product going that we're trying to produce, which is this conversation where no one's actually trying to sell you anything. The best thing you can do for us is hit the thumbs up, share this video out as always, so that more people can find the conversation next time.
Yes.
All right, you guys. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves, each other. And remember, keep that BTC safe. Later.
Bye, guys. All right.